Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to take a look at this really cool RC truck by GPTOYS. The model number on this is the S920. They also call it the Judge. I believe they advertise this as 1/10 scale, but it's really, to me, looks more like 1/12 scale. And this truck has some very unique features. Aside from being four-wheel drive, it just has some things that I've not seen too much in more, I would just call this borderline hobby grade. You know, it's pretty nice. Now I think GPTOYS, I think Zinlahong, who's pretty big manufacturer RC stuff, I think they actually make this for GPTOYS. Now I'm going to take the top off. I have the cotter pins already off, and you guys can see one thing, it's got a dual rear shock, so it's got a total of 6 shocks. These may hold oil, but they don't come with oil in them. They're just working as friction shocks. But I think it looks to me like these, I have to open up to confirm if you could actually put oil in these. So the thing you can probably notice right here is it's got this big Velcro strap in this compartment, and it's got 2 connectors here, Dean connectors. Now this is just an adapter that they give you that plugs in, because you can drive this with 1 or 2 LiPos. Now they give you 2 of these 1600 milliamp hour 2S 7.4 volt LiPos, and you can just put one of them in here, and then you can put this top piece on if you want to and actually run it as it's originally designed. And you could just plug it into one of these, or take this adapter off if you want to knock a little weight off. Or you can put 2 of them, and you can put these on top of each other, put the Velcro in, and then you can run this as, it doesn't run as 4S, it's not running series, it runs the adapter as parallel. So it's going to be running as a 3200 milliamp 2S LiPo, because you're combining these batteries into one larger capacity battery, but it's actually not running as a 4S. It's not going to run as double voltage. That would really haul, and it'd probably burn out this ESC receiver combo. It's a 60 amp. It has a cooling fins in here for passive cooling to help cool this, and you have a little on and off switch right here on the top for this guy. Now another unique feature about this is it has double motors. It's got 2 motors mounted. I believe it's, I'm not sure where it is. I want to think it's up in the front here. I would think they're probably 390s. At 540s would be too big. You'd see them in here, I'm guessing, on that motor size there. And it's, you know, it's going to run double the power. That'll run pretty smooth. Now you can see it's got metal dog bones. It's got really nice rubber tires. It seems to be really well built. I'm pretty sure it's got full ball bearings. It's got a lot of metal on it. This is really, seems to be really well built on this RC truck. And then they also give you this wire here you can install, and it plugs in this little 2-pin connector here, and this lets you put white LEDs in the front and red rear tail light brake lights in the back. They don't operate as a brake light, it's just always on, but you'll see that in a minute. So I went ahead and installed that whenever I got it, and they don't tell you in the instructions to put these lights on. They don't even mention the double batteries except for on the Amazon listing, so you have to keep that in mind. Now again, you can run this just as one, but if you want to double the run time, charge up both and run them. Now they give you 2 USB chargers here, and these is what you can use to charge those. So I used my hobby grade charger, my iMax, to be able to charge this up, because you can charge these much quicker and a better balanced charge using it. But if you don't have, you know, 2 of those, you know, hobby grade chargers, just use the supplied ones. It's also got a wheel wrench in here, and I think it's probably got some extra cotter pins, stuff like that, all inside the bag. So again, you could, it advertises a top speed of about 30 miles an hour. That sounds pretty reasonable on a 2S LiPo on this guy. Now the controller, you get your power, your steering, reversing here, servo reversing, your steering trim. If it's pulling right or left, you can adjust that. Your steering dual rates, that's so if you want to limit how much it turns. I have it all the way up. And then you got a high and a low speed. We'll probably start out in the low and see what kind of difference. It basically is just limiting the top speed, and that'd be great for a beginner or a kid or so, and you don't want to smash this up, so you might want to drop the top speed down on this guy. So yeah, that's everything it comes with. Again, it's got the headlights, the dual batteries, the dual motors, and it's a little over $100, I think. I think I have a coupon you can clip. I think it's around $100 if you clip like a $20 off coupon. I'm pretty darn impressed with this thing. I've driven it just a little bit. We'll see how it does, and we take it out and drive it around. So I'm going to go ahead and hook up the both batteries. I did charge both of them. Again, you can just run one, But I wanted to go ahead and show that it works with both of them strapped in there, and we'll drive it around and do a test drive. So I'll be right back, guys, and we'll take it out for the test drive. All right, guys, so I have the S920 connected with the controller. You can see the rear tail lights that I installed and the front white LED is really sharp. Now inside of here, I've got both of those LiPos strapped together, so we have a larger battery. Again, for this review, I don't need both batteries. I'm not going to drive it to the full capacity of that battery, but that's going to be running. It's a 3200 milliamp battery, so make sure you have them both charged completely up. You don't want to have one of them partially charged. That would throw everything off because one of the capacity would be goofed up from one to the other. So let's go ahead, we'll drive it around and now see how this guy performs. So I'm going to throw it down here. I've got a big old cicada dying there next to it. Now this isn't a low speed. It's pretty quiet. Boy, it looks nice. It's not real loud, but that's fine because not everybody wants a really loud car to drive around, especially in a neighborhood like this. But those two motors, that's going to take the workload off of one of them. And that's the first car I've had with dual motors. They usually have one, especially the ones that are going to brushless. Okay, that's probably somewhere in the 15 to 20 mile per hour range. Okay, let's go ahead and we'll switch it up into the high rate. Yeah, you can see a definite increase in speed now. It's peeling out. Yeah, that's pretty good. I'm guessing, I don't know if it's 30, but I'd say it's probably in the 25. This is really sharp. If you're gonna go with a brushed car, not a brushless, this is where I'd want to go because the dual motors is gonna provide a lot of power. Look at that. Wow, this has got really good power, which is what I was hoping for. With it being dual motor, you'd hope it'd have some more torque and power than a single brushed motor, because brushed motors are fine. They're old technology, they're reliable, but they can't compete with brushless. But with two brushed motors, gives it a puncher's chance. Yeah, it really, even in four-wheel drive, it will definitely lose contact with the surface there and peel out, do a donut when you really gun it. I like the highest rate. I don't see a reason to use low rate unless I were going to be giving this to a younger kid to try out. And they need to obviously get used to their hand-eye coordination with this stuff. And they need to be able to, you don't want to slam into stuff. You're still going to break it if you slam into stuff full speed. Yeah, this is really, really nice for a brushed car. I love the look of this. A lot of these cars that I get, especially once on Amazon, I'll gift it to a kid. I know my friend Donnie was gifting his little E-Sheen truck to a kid in his compartment complex. I like to do that stuff as well. But this one I think is going to be a keeper because I usually keep the brushless stuff. But the brush stuff I'll usually gift because a lot of times, whoa, that was cool. Don't have a need for it, but I like this so much I don't see a reason to get rid of this and give it away because it's just got such good speed and power. Look at that power. It's got really good power. Really good power. And that's brushless type power. Oh, nice. I hit that lip here, guys, and it flipped, but it looks like it's totally fine. And these things are made to be bashed. If it breaks from something like that, then it's not worth the money. So I always want to give it a bit of a durability type test when you're doing this. You don't want to spend $100 on something that's going to break on the first run. Of course, these RC trucks and cars are always going to, something's going to break. I've been doing these since, I've been driving these, since I had the kit cars with Tamiya, and I always, something broke. And back then, parts were so hard to find because you didn't have the internet. But nowadays, you can find Zinlahong, GPTOYS parts. You can fix this if you break it, but it's not like you're going to break this just driving it around like this, because it's just, the composite plastics are really well made now. These vehicles are just designed better. They're not designed just for looks, they're designed for performance. And despite using just friction shocks, I gotta tell you, the suspension works really well for me. It's a little bouncy, but it's not bad. I love the lights. That's something else you didn't have years ago. LEDs and that really weren't something you could easily get. You didn't have lights on RC cars, and if you did, they were expensive lighting kits. They weren't something that came with them. And you know, and if not, you could easily get a lighting kit off of Amazon or eBay for dirt cheap. So again, I love the RC cars nowadays. They're, you know, the only thing that I'm missing out on is the lack of, you know, they're ready to run. I like to build them. That's part of the fun. And a kid really learns how to build something, they can take it apart and fix it. And that's half the battle. It's just being able to put the car together. You feel like you accomplished something. And then take it out and then make sure it works right. Where this stuff, you get it out of the box, charge the battery, and away you go. And yeah, that's fun. But if something breaks, you got to hope that the exploded view in the manual is enough to help you fix it. Yeah, I like this a lot. This is really nice. Really nice size, nice speed, really nice look. Relatively quiet. Handles really well. The tires are pretty nice. And the dual brushed motors are doing a really nice job. And you know, brushed motors, yeah, they're going to have a life, you know, expectancy compared to brushless, but you'd probably be done playing with the car before the brushed motors will probably go bad. When they go bad, they tend to go bad right out of the box, or they go bad after years and years of using them. I've never burnt out a brushed motor in a car before, so I think it's a bit of a myth. People always talk about brushed motors not lasting. Yeah, they do have a life expectancy, but it's not as bad as a lot of people want to make it out to be. And they're perfectly fine. They're very reliable once they're broken in, and they're very cheap. So if a motor would go bad, it'd be very simple to open this up and replace that brushed motor. And if you needed to do that, and because this car wouldn't be easy to go brushless because of the dual motor system, you'd have to try to go dual brushless, and that would probably be too much for this and probably strip your gears out. So all right guys, this is really sharp, the GPTOYS S920. Absolutely love this, highly recommend. I've reviewed quite a few RC cars over the years. It's starting to rain, guys. Hopefully it's not showing up on my lens on my Osmo Action, but I reviewed a lot of these over the years, RC cars on Amazon, and I'm not too terribly impressed. They're little cheap rock crawlers and stuff, and they're usually way overpriced. I gotta say, I'm really impressed with this. I really like it. It really drives well, it looks amazing, and the price of around $100 is totally acceptable price range for what you're getting. This absolutely blows the doors. And I mean blows the doors off anything you can pick up at Walmart. And you might pay 80 bucks for a piece of junk New Bright or some piece of garbage RC car at Walmart, when you can buy this for a little more, and a kid's just gonna have a blast with this. All right guys, that wraps up the review of the GPTOYS S920. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, click the bell, all that good stuff. And as always guys, have a wonderful day.
The power of the dark side.